All right, this is a part two of my fuck Kobe Bryant or any athlete for that matter part two, and I want you to understand why I say what I said. Okay, this is about building your own legacy and not worshiping somebody else's legacy and not trying to be a part of somebody else's legacy, but building your own. Okay, let me put this in perspective. Jack Johnson. How many people know who Jack Johnson is? Okay, nobody. Not a lot of people know who Jack Johnson is. But at his time, he was a world class athlete. He was the first. I think he was the first black champion, heavyweight champion of the world. I think he passed away in 1920. That's 100 years ago today. Okay, that's 100 years ago. Okay, but nobody knows who he was. But he was groundbreaking. He inspired the Muhammad Ali's and the Mike Tyson's of the world and the Joe Lewis's. Okay, he inspired Joe Lewis. Joe Lewis inspired Muhammad Ali, or however that went. You know, everybody respected the predecessor, but how many people today, how many people born in the year 2000, 2005, 95 or whatever like that, know who Jack Johnson is? How many people know who Bart Starr is? How many people know who Curly Lambeau is? Nobody. But these were athletes, these were entertainers back in the day. Fast forward 100 years removed, nobody knows who they are. But everybody knows who Hitler was. Not saying that he was an idol, but he did something world changing. Not in a good way. But nonetheless, everybody knows who Thomas Edison was. Everybody knows who Nikola Tesla is. But they existed in the same time frame as your Jack Johnsons, as your Bart Starrs and your Curly Lambos. They existed in the same era. But you are taught about them in I was going to say social security, social studies. So why are you taught about them in social studies and not your Jack Johnsons or your Curly Lambos? Because an athlete is not a prominent figure in society. They are what's happening right now because they're entertainers. But let them retire. Once they retire, or once they are no longer on the field, they become irrelevant. They become has-beens. But Martin Luther King will forever be remembered. Malcolm X will forever be remembered. Barack Obama will forever be remembered. Why do you think that is? So everybody's talking about you are wasting your life keeping up with, how many jump shots Kobe got. You know how many kids he got. You know what's in his pocket, but you're not building your own legacy for your own children, for your own people. You're not doing something, your grandchildren are going to remember you, not Kobe. But if you don't do nothing, they ain't going to know who you are. How many people know who their great-grandfather name was? My father's name was Philip. My grandfather's name was John. His father's name was Samuel. And his father before him name was Odie. How many people can do that? How many people know that my great-grandfather was a preacher? The man was dead long before I came into existence. He lived over 100 years ago. How many people can do that? I know the royal family can. I know the Kennedys can. Why do you think that's so important? So you're worshiping athletes. They're entertainers at the end of the day. Talking about they inspire the children to do what? To be other entertainers? So you got one child, like Michael Jordan inspired Kobe. But at the end of the day, they're all clones. Even Michael Jordan's a clone of, I think, Dr. J. And even Dr. J saw somebody. Why ain't nobody talking about Bill Russell and his 13 rings? Why everybody stuck on Michael Jordan's rings? Why everybody think having 5 or 6 rings is like the cream of the crop, but nobody talks about Bill Russell's 13 rings. But Bill Russell was that nigga when he was around. I mean, he's still living. But when he was on that field, he was that nigga. Not the field, when he was on that court. But since he stepped out of the limelight, nobody talks about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Nobody talks about Bill Russell. Why? Why? I'd like to know. Athletes, musicians, things like that are entertainers. But even musicians are far more remembered than athletes. Michael Jackson will be around forever, but that's because he did something groundbreaking, and it wasn't the fucking moonwalk. He broke the color barrier between black and white music. That's why he's important. It's about being revolutionary. That's what creates your immortality in this world. But all these people worshiping Kobe and getting Kobe tattoos and all sorts of stuff like that, guess what? 20 years from now, he'll be irrelevant. He'll be irrelevant. To somebody who was born in 2020 and 2040. In 2040, I'll be 53 years old. And Kobe will be dead for 20 years. And off the court for damn near 30. Ain't nobody gonna give a fuck about no goddamn Kobe at that time. Ain't nobody gonna give a fuck about nothing but Barack Obama. Gotta learn about him 20 years from now in social studies. Nikola Tesla, who'd be dead for 120 years at that time. Gotta learn about him in social studies. Thomas Edison, social studies. So what I'm saying is, are you trying to be remembered for being revolutionary, or are you trying to be forgotten because you could dunk a ball? Muhammad Ali was an activist. But Floyd Mayweather, Money Mayweather, ain't nobody gonna learn about him 20 years from now. He gonna be undefeated all day. But at the end of the day, what is he doing in society that makes him legendary? Nothing. Okay, he can fight good. Good. Okay. 20 years from now, there's gonna be another knockout king. And he'll be irrelevant. But what immortalizes you? You really think Kobe's gonna be immortalized? Or you think they're going to forget about him like they forgot about Bill Russell and Jack Johnson? And Lord knows whatever athlete that was popping in the 1890s. What do you think is going to happen? All these dumbass people sit up here glorifying the thing that makes us a slave. Athletes are slaves. They might get a big check, but they're a slave nonetheless. So why aren't you glorifying the Barack Obamas? Why ain't you trying to? Why ain't you ain't got degrees and plaques on the wall? I don't know. I don't even know how many degrees and plaques Kobe got on the wall that's not basketball related. So if I ask you who the alpha male is between Kobe and Barack is, your ass will say Kobe, because you're a dumbass. When in that instance, Kobe's the beta. That's what you're not understanding. That's why I say fuck Kobe Bryant. Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. I'm sorry he passed away the way he did, but you got all these people counting his pockets, naming off his children. They can't even name off their own children. They talk about how much money he got in his account, or how many deals he got, or how many rings he got, but they homeless somewhere. They living with their girlfriend somewhere. They ain't going to go see their children. They ain't building nothing. But they can watch the game every time it come on. That's why I say fuck all of that. Sure, it's entertaining, but what you doing? Your grandchildren gonna remember you? Your great grandchildren gonna know who you are? Or do they know who Kobe is?